Hello, everyone. I'm Liam. Every dollar, every chore, every skipped soda. This wasn't just pocket change. This was my ticket to the ultimate gaming rig. Months of grinding, saving for something truly epic. It was my money, my dream. Then, in an instant, it was all gone. My entire life savings vanished. My piggy bank, completely empty. You know that sinking feeling when your world just drops? Just hours later, I saw them. On my older brother Mark's feet. These impossibly cool, impossibly expensive sneakers. The very ones our parents had told him were out of the question. He'd stolen my money, my future, and the worst part? My parents completely let him off the hook. They forgave him, just like that. Today, this trusty old ceramic pig held all my hopes. My parents, Sarah and David, promised if I saved half for a new, custom-built gaming PC, they'd cover the rest. This wasn't just a computer. It was my portal to incredible worlds and a badge of honor. It felt like an impossible summit, but I was determined. Meanwhile, my 16-year-old brother, Mark, obsessed over the new Apex Strikers sneakers. They were the most expensive, hyped-up shoes. He claimed all his friends had them, hounding our parents for weeks. Mom, Sarah, was firm. Mark, those are out of the question. Your current shoes are fine. Save up yourself. Dad, David, agreed. Mark, predictably, hated hearing no. That Saturday afternoon, after finishing yard work, I went to deposit my earnings. I reached for my piggy bank. Felt impossibly light. I shook it. Nothing. Not a single coin rattled. The small rubber stopper was gone. My entire savings, my gaming PC, my future, gone. Panic, hot and sharp, clawed at my throat. Only one person ever came into my room without permission. I stumbled out of my room, mind reeling. Then I saw him, Mark, lounging on the living room sofa, absorbed in his phone. On his feet, the Apex Strikers. Brand new, gleaming. The sneakers our parents had forbidden. Cold, hard certainty hit me. I walked directly up to Mark. "Where did you get those, Mark?" I asked, voice tight. He looked up, startled, then at his new shoes, trying to act casual. These? Just got him. You just get them. I flared. Mom and Dad said no. My piggy bank. It's empty. Did you take my money? Mark's smirk vanished. He flinched, looked away, fidgeting. Guilt flashed, quickly followed by irritation. He sighed, defeated. He met my gaze, a tiny shrug. Okay, fine. Yeah. But it was just for these. I was going to pay you back. Honest. His voice was a pathetic mumble. Just a little bit? I retorted, voice thick with tears and disbelief. It was all of it, Mark. Every single dollar. My gaming PC money. Rage and profound hurt overwhelmed me. He hadn't just taken money. He'd stolen my effort, my trust, my dream. He'd known exactly what he was doing. His casual shrug felt like a second betrayal. The parents, forgiveness. I ran to Mom and Dad in the kitchen, spilling the whole story in a rush of tears and frantic accusations. Mark followed, hands in his pockets, avoiding their eyes. Liam, what's wrong? Mom asked, concerned. Mark, he stole all my money from my piggy bank, and he bought these shoes. I cried. Mom and Dad looked from my empty piggy bank to Mark's new shoes. Their expressions shifted from confusion to shock, then disappointment. Dad eyed Mark sternly. Mark, is this true? Did you take Liam's money? Mark nodded slowly. Yeah, but I was going to pay him back. I just needed these shoes. Everyone has them, Dad. And I didn't think he'd buy that PC for a long time anyway. His excuses sounded hollow. Dad sighed. Mom put a comforting hand on my shoulder, but her gaze softened towards Mark. Mark, how could you do this? That was Liam's savings. You know how much he wanted that PC. This was very wrong. Dad looked at Mark. Stealing, son? From your own brother? That's not okay. You understand, right? Mark nodded, voice cracking, feigning remorse. I know. I'm sorry. I really wanted the shoes. I'll pay him back. I promise. Mom looked at Mark with soft understanding. She turned to me, offering a conciliatory smile. "See, Liam? Mark is very sorry. He made a mistake. We all make mistakes, don't we? It's important we forgive each other. He promises to pay you back. We'll make sure he works it as much as avoiding conflict with Mark." Their forgiveness felt less like a moral lesson and more like an emotional exit strategy. I stopped telling them about new saving goals. I started hiding my money. Any allowance, any birthday money, went into a secret compartment. I became meticulous, counting every cent, fiercely private about my finances. It was a silent rebellion against perceived injustice. I wouldn't rely on their fairness again. Mark, oblivious or uncaring, went about his life. He was still the popular, outgoing one. He'd sometimes tease me about being too serious, too focused on my money. He never grasped the depth of his transgression or the gaping wound it left. We lived in the same house, but an invisible wall stood between us. My parents, busy, seemed to miss the subtle shifts. On the surface, things looked normal, but underneath, the foundation had cracked. I'd nod and smile, but a part of me remained guarded, always calculating. The gaming PC dream faded, replaced by a pragmatic view of money. Security. About what could be taken. Lessons learned. Years passed. We grew up, graduated, moved out. Mark and I went to different universities, then different cities. Our interactions became less frequent, more formal. Holiday dinners were polite, superficial affairs. The piggy advice, yes, but it's detached, professional, never personal. No genuine bond of trust. The memory of the empty piggy bank, the gleaming new shoes, and their swift, easy forgiveness is always there, a phantom ache. It wasn't just about the money. It was about the principle. The lesson I learned was that some wrongs aren't truly righted by a parent's desire for peace. Some betrayals, when unaddressed with genuine accountability, leave a lasting mark. It taught me fairness is a choice, and sometimes those closest to you choose convenience over justice. I built my own security, my own peace of mind, brick by painstaking brick. The scars of that day remain, but they've also become the bedrock of my strength. I learned to trust myself, to rely on my own efforts, and to value true accountability. The gaming PC, that teenage dream, became a profound lesson in self-reliance and the complex nature of family. And if you've ever felt that sting of injustice, that quiet betrayal from someone you loved, know this: you're not alone. The path to reclaiming your sense of fairness often begins with finding your own strength. I stared at my mom, then my dad, then Mark. My tears stopped, replaced by confusion, then cold, quiet fury. I wasn't consoled. I felt dismissed. In that moment, it wasn't just my piggy bank that felt empty. A fundamental trust had broken, not just by my brother, but by the people who should protect me. My parents chose to forgive the act, overlooking the violation. They chose family peace over true accountability, and I felt its crushing weight immediately. The lingering aftermath. That day, something irrevocably shifted. Mark received his light scolding, a talk about doing better. My parents emphasized forgiveness, moving past things. They promised Mark would earn the money back, do extra chores, maybe give me some allowance. But that promise faded fast. The apex strikers stayed on Mark's feet. He wore them everywhere. A constant, painful reminder of what I lost and what he gained without real consequence. He'd occasionally offer, "Hey, want $10?" But it never amounted to much, and he never followed through. My parents never enforced the earning it back part. Life just moved on. For them. For me, though, it didn't. My world looked different. My shaky trust in Mark shattered. More surprisingly, my trust in my parents fractured too. They hadn't truly protected me. They hadn't valued my effort or dream. Bank incident was never mentioned. It was the unspoken truth defining our adult relationship. Mark, true to his early inclinations, bounced around jobs, chasing trends. He was charming, but never quite settled financially. He'd often ask our parents for financial help, a car loan, rent help. More often than not, they'd help him. Without question, the pattern of unearned assistance continued, now with larger sums. I, on the other hand, became fiercely independent. I worked through college, juggling jobs, meticulous with my budget. I saved every penny, invested wisely, and built my own financial stability. I never asked my parents for a dime after that day. I made sure I never had to. Self-reliance, never vulnerable to someone else's caprice or unearned forgiveness, became a core principle. My parents, now older, sometimes voice confusion about my relationship with Mark. "Why aren't you two closer?" Mom might ask over Sunday dinner. "You're brothers. You should be there for each other." Dad would echo. They genuinely believe their forgiveness resolved everything. They don't see the silent barrier. They see two grown men who aren't as chummy as they should be. They still try to mediate to bring us closer. "Mark needs your advice, Liam," Mom might suggest. "You're so good with money."